Alright, here I am at Dease Lake. I just got dropped off here and I'm trying to work out where I am. I'm heading that way. Alright, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So yeah, here in the middle of nowhere. That guy was just heading to 3 kilometers up the road. I'm just trying to get my bearings right now. I just got out the car with Aaron. We had a couple of hours of adventure together this morning.
Well, there's a beach here.
This is the last stop until Watson Lake. Yeah, this is a pretty cool place. The drive here was really beautiful. I mean, I really feel like this is just in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool being up so far in the wilderness. So there's a store right here, there's a gas station. So there's also a hotel, so if I get stuck here, no big deal. But hopefully not. So we'll see what happens and see if this guy picks me up right here. It was so cold this morning, it is good, but my battery's almost dead on my camera, so yeah, back on the open road. Not much happening, but again, this is a beautiful place. I'd say it's even more beautiful. I love how just open it is, and it just feels like I'm way out there. Nice to be able to walk in the middle of the highway. You can't do that in many places. So it is 2 p.m. and it is a lot warmer now, thankfully. There's my sleeping bag on the back. It's a fair bit of traffic, but about 3 cars have gone by. Everyone's been nice and waved to me or spoke to me, so that's nice, but just local traffic. A Yukon license plate just drove past, which is pretty cool. Wonder if he's heading back. Seen a few American plates heading towards Alaska. And Watson Lake is just 4 hours, maybe, from here. Once I get on the Alaska Highway, then that's going to be much easier. There's quite a bit of traffic going between Watson Lake and Whitehorse, so it's home straight once I get there. So yeah, last little bit of nothingness here. There's Jade City. Well, it's just a shop. It's like a mineral gemstone shop. And I think that's basically it. So there was an Alaska truck that just went past, which was pretty cool. Anchorage, Alaska, which is where I was about a month ago. And it had a Washington license plate, so it's going a long way. But it's going the wrong way, so still here, half an hour later, not much happening. Oh guys, it's been about 2 hours now that I've been standing here. And obviously no progress. I got passed by 4 American plates, which is kind of depressing because they're all heading up to Alaska. One lady stopped to fill up some petrol and I asked her, but she didn't have room in her car. So the sun's like coming and going. When the sun's out, it's lovely. I just stand here and it just feels great to be heated up, but otherwise it's pretty cold and yeah, pretty depressing. it's a beautiful place, but it's hard to appreciate it when the sun's not shining and I'm feeling cold. So you never know. It could just be one car that comes, and that might be the only car I need if they pick me up. So, but yeah, as for right now, still nothing. Just waiting. Okay, so I need to step in here. This is after the fact, but what you're about to see was the craziest hitchhiking journey of my entire life. The craziest single ride that I've ever had. And I've hitchhiked hundreds of times at this point, but man, I was not ready for for what ended up happening this evening. So after standing by the side of the road there for 3 hours in the end, it was 5 p.m, it was chilly, I didn't want to be standing there anymore. This truck pulled over, Alaska plate, so I was like, okay, these guys are going to Alaska. So these 3 guys walk out the truck, go into the supermarket there. They are a grandfather, father, son by the looks of it. They're all wearing t-shirts and just old school sunglasses, you know, just straight black sunglasses. It looks, kind of looks like some kind of Men in Black, redneck mashup is the only way I could describe it. And so I go back to my spot and I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna plan on hitching a ride for maybe another half hour. And then after half an hour of being in the store there, I don't know what they were doing, getting some food, they come out and they're driving really slowly, about to turn off the highway, and that's a bit better. Just put my bag and sleeping bag underneath me. You know, being from out in the country and being from Alaska, they're pretty open to helping people, and so they pull over and say, you know, we've got no room in the truck here, but if you want to hop in the bed, or you can hop in the trailer, which is like pulling these big gravel bags, huge things, weighs so much. And I'm like, okay, this you know what, this sounds really dangerous, but something in me is just like, sure, whatever, I want to get to the Yukon. And I felt good about it. I didn't feel good about going in the back where the gravel bags were in the trailer, but in the truck bed I was like, sure, whatever. You know, I've done it once, I don't know, maybe a couple of times before, but I've never done it like driving fast like that on the highway. And so what then ensued was, I don't know how long, probably 2.5 at least hours, maybe 2.5 to 3.5 hours of going through the wilderness on the Cassiar Highway, the most remote road that I've ever had to hitchhike on. The most bumpy roads I've ever had to hitchhike on too. Not just that, but in the back of this truck, okay, being jerked around non-stop. Here's me trying to like squat, trying to hold myself up from not getting my back just completely hammered from lying down on this thing. So I've got my bag underneath me. I'm kind of like resting on my bag with my neck so that my back's not touching the bed. I've got my feet, my elbows on the truck bed, so I'm kind of like distributing my weight on every part of me that isn't my back, because every time we hit a bump, which there are just so many, it's quite painful, and I'm getting chucked around. And there's just shit all in the back of this truck. There's all this grease that got on my back. There's just bolts and wheel rims and all kinds of stuff. Plus there's suitcases just like rolling around in the back there. So that was what was initially very difficult. It was like, okay, well, so that was pretty rough. And then the fact that they never stopped, they never once like pulled over to see if I was doing okay. I was kind of thinking like, man, I bet they're enjoying this in the front, like wondering if I'm still gonna make it through all of this. But so yeah, I didn't get the feeling that they particularly were were interested in my survival or not, so I was hoping they'd pull over and I could maybe readjust myself, and I had a sleeping bag with me. And that brings me to the third thing, which was just how bitterly cold it was. It wasn't that cold at the beginning at Dease Lake, but we went through the wilderness there, this amazing scenery, and soon enough we got up into the mountains even higher with snow on the trees, snow on the ground everywhere, which there wasn't at Dease Lake. It must have been some high mountain pass, but it wasn't that steep, so it was like a gradual ascent. And it got bitterly cold, so you can probably imagine, sitting in the back of this truck with the wind chill from, oh man, just like going down those hills with speed, and then with this huge, what they call a gooseneck, fitted into the truck bed, this huge metal thing next to my face, and I'm, just, if they hit anything, then I'm just instantly dead, so. So that's in the back of my mind, like, yeah, if we hit something, then this thing's just gonna snap and kill me, but whatever, that's very unlikely, and I felt good about this ride, so I'm fine taking the risk, but, it's pretty intense, so fortunately I did have my sleeping bag with me, and at one point, there was like 2 times on this ride where they slowed down because they were going up a hill, quite a steep hill, and because they were pulling all this weight, they had to really, well, their truck could barely, go very fast at all, so we were just kind of like, just making it up this hill, going really slowly, and thankfully, like, all the bobbing stopped, so I managed to readjust myself and get out my sleeping bag, and I wrapped it around me, and it still didn't stop the wind from coming in, but my feet were numb at this point, and it was it was very uncomfortable, and I didn't know how long they were going to be driving for. And so when they stopped at the junction, thank goodness their fuel pump broke, and not only that, but then the gas station which we stopped at on the corner there's just one gas station in the middle of nowhere. Their card wasn't working with the card lock to pay at the pump, so through an act of God, they had to turn right instead of left to go to Watson Lake, because they were planning to go all the way to Teslin, which is another 2.5 hours, so I was like, holy shit, thank God. So we drive just another 20 minutes to Watson Lake, and that's where I finally get out. I'm safe. I go into the store, get a warm, hot coffee. I warm up, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm going to sleep well tonight. And it felt amazing. I love Watson Lake, and I walked over past the signpost forest. Just beautiful. Beautiful. 9 p.m. is when I got there, so very cold. Very cold at this time, but it had been just a blue sky day. And I walked over to the hotel and got a room for the night. And the adventure continues. So hopefully in these videos you get a sense of just how wild this whole experience was, and if you stick around, you're going to find out that it didn't stop here. The next day, or the next couple of days, even more crazy. So I'm going to save that for the next video, and thank you guys for watching.